Well, hello everybody. I'm Katie Austin and welcome to Austin AF. You're probably wondering, okay, who are you beyond your fitness videos, your healthy recipes, and your workout app? So I'm here to show you guys who I am and a little bit more into my life. I'm really excited because I have been wanting a talk show, if you will, ever since I was literally 10 years old. If you guys went to middle school with me, you guys know that I've been talking about having my own talk show for absolute years. And a little bit of background on me. I was a Division I athlete at USC, and I'm originally from Virginia. I played lacrosse my entire life. And then after school, I actually got a sports broadcast job for 2.5 years, co-hosting a show that lived on Fox Sports West. I've hosted things like the Super Bowl. I've hosted the NBA Awards. I've hosted so many different events. And now I'm so excited to be announcing that I'm hosting my own show. That still sounds so crazy to say, and you're probably wondering what the hell this show is going to be about since, again, I am a workout girl. So this show, I like to call it a smorgasbord of lifestyle, aka I am going to be showing you all about food, dating advice, business, entrepreneurship, and bringing on some of my favorite people ever. My first few guests are going to be my favorite people. They're amazing female entrepreneurs, and my first guest is actually very near and dear to my heart because I came from her body, if you will. Surprise, drumroll please, my mother. And if you guys don't know, I know a lot of Gen Z and millennials might not know how successful and how amazingly inspiring my mother is, but just to give you a quick background on who my mom is, Denise Austin, she has sold over 24 million workout DVDs, which is crazy. She holds the record for the longest standing fitness show of all time. She was on ESPN for 10 years, and then she was on Lifetime for 14 years, and she really was a pioneer in the fitness world. And I'm talking when, Jane Fonda and Cindy Crawford were the only ones doing workout videos. My mom wanted to make workouts a show, a daily workout show every single morning for 6:37 a.m., 5 days a week. My mom was the hardest worker. And so today I really want to deep dive with her because ask her how she really raised two girls so well, if you will. I want to ask her parenting tips, her dating advice, how she met my dad, and all of her business tips because she is the most inspiring, motivating woman on this planet. Plus, I think it's so freaking awesome that she is 63 years old. Actually, is she 64 now? She might be 64 now, and she's never had work done. I mean, the girl's never even had Botox or filler, which is so crazy how beautiful she still is. So I want to also show you guys her favorite anti-aging smoothie as well. So she's about to come on here, but before we get into my mom coming in here, I just wanted to give you guys a quick lowdown of how the show is going to go. The first few minutes, we are going to do trendy topics, and it's called Katie's Daily, what's going on in my life, what you guys need to know about me, but also my take on current topics as well. So I'm really excited to be bringing that to you guys a little bit deeper into my life. Then I'll have a guest on board, either a food blogger, a beauty blogger, an athlete, a reality star. So it could be anyone that you guys love. And then I'll have them say their favorite mantra. We'll get really real, we'll be really funny, and we'll show a favorite food, healthy, or lifestyle hack as well. Okay, so daily take. I don't really even know where to begin on my first episode ever of Austin AF for my Katie's Daily 1 to 2 minute segment, but I will say I'm no longer single. Wow, it's crazy. I was single for 2.5 years, and the reason I wanted to start with this is because I feel like a lot of my last 2.5 years social media was around being single and dating and trying out new boys and stuff like that, and that a lot of people online either know me as being in a very long-term relationship. I was in a 5-year relationship and then single for 2.5 years, and now I have a new boyfriend. So I feel like a lot of this show, I'll be going into my dating life as well, but the reason I bring this up is because specifically also my mom is coming on the show. But last night I had dinner with my parents and my mom and my sister. And I just want to say it is so different and weird for me to date a guy that my family loves. I don't know about you guys, but my family has hated, specifically my mom, has hated my last two boyfriends. And I'm very sorry to say that if you guys are listening, my last two ex-boyfriends, but they're both like married right now, so it's fine, you're not listening. So it's really nice to have your boyfriend be welcomed into your family. And this is a new concept for me. We're actually going on a vacation all together, so stay tuned in a week if they still love him. But at the same time, I want to really ask my mom about what happens when she hated my boyfriend and how she really went about that, because I think a lot of parents out there hate their child's significant other, or they don't approve of them, or also if you're listening out there and you're a girl or guy and your parent dislikes your significant other, and how to really handle that. So we'll get into that today. And so without further ado, let's first make this anti-aging smoothie, bring my mom on board, and get started with Austin AF, aka Austin and Family today.
Hi! Oh my God, it's so cool, Katie. I love it. Oh, I'm happy to be here. Oh my God. Austin.
AF and family.
Okay, and family, thank God.
No cussing when my mom's around.
Okay. I cuss too much, so I better be very careful.
You really don't.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
This is so exciting.
Hi. Should we just get going?
Mwah.
Yeah?
Happy to be here,
Are we
sweetheart.
rolling? We got some Ever Better bites.
Yes.
We got your VHSs here in the back.
Yes, and the best part of all, this was you in my tummy when I was pregnant with you, Katie Austin. Isn't that something?
27 years ago.
Yes, this came out. And then I did an after baby shape up.
Wow. And then this is Hard Tummies.
Rock hard tummies, honey, rock hard.
Rock hard tummies. Okay, wow. The reason I love this is I still know exactly where this leotard is. Like, my mom has kept everything from the 70s.
Well, 80s, honey, 80s. I'm not that old.
Don't have
I started in 1981.
Wow. Okay, actually, this is a really good place to start. So I was trying to tell my audience in the intro, you know, a lot of, don't take offense to this at all, but like, okay. You know, the Gen Z and millennials, they might recognize you, but they don't know what you've accomplished and how many years you're on TV, how many DVDs you've sold. I really kind of want to start with your beginning and how you got started in your career, because I've obviously heard this story a lot, but how inspiring it is, your perseverance, how many times you called the Today Show. So explain a little bit.
It was all self-generated. I had no map to follow, so I had to kind of try things and just see what worked. So when I graduated from college, I was a gymnast, as you know. Like, you had athletic scholarship, and so did I. I got a chance to teach aerobics, and aerobics was just starting.
Yeah.
And I put my own music together and took my little audio cassette player to all the little places I would teach. And then I met Jack LaLanne, and he gave me my very first start on TV. So I ran up to him, I saw him at a convention, and I said, "Oh, I could do handstands on your back, Jack."
And you know as hell she freaking said this.
Of course I did. And he said, "Oh, okay." You know, I was there.
Meanwhile, yeah, the biggest fitness star in the nation at that time.
He had an exercise show, the only one that my grandpa used to do, and my mom. So I adored him and grew up kind of with my grandpa doing the exercise, and my grandma and my mom. So to me, this was a fantastic way to start, you know, like, "Oh my gosh, Jack." So I told him I would love to come on. And so he gave me his phone number and the producer's number, and I got a chance to have my first appearance. And Jack LaLanne and his wife Elaine LaLanne asked me to stay all day when they filmed 5 TV shows. So I got to be on 5 of them in one day, and I was, "Oh, this is so much fun." I loved it. And then I became his co-host.
Wow.
And then I met your daddy.
Hey.
And then, so this was in Los Angeles, and I had 25 different aerobic instructors that worked with me. And I also had the morning TV show with Jack LaLanne. And so when I got married, we moved to Washington, D.C.
So, okay, let's hold up. So you were really just starting your entire career in Los Angeles. You're born and raised LA.
Yes.
And you're like, "Oh my goodness, I'm about to make it." And then boom, you meet my dad, and my dad says, "We have to move to DC."
we would love to move to DC actually because he took a great job. He's a sports attorney, and he took one of the best jobs when he got a chance to represent his sister, Tracy Austin, #1 tennis player at the time. Jimmy Connors, #1 player at the time. So he was an opportunity to get into sports and represent people he cared about.
No, of course, for Dad, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
But for
Absolutely.
me-
But for you, isn't that terrifying?
Okay, I have to tell you, all of you, that when I get to Washington, D.C., I was still wearing my little aerobics outfits, and I had, the dolphin shorts on with the little tops, and I was grocery shopping it's called Social Safeway in Washington, D.C., very conservative in 1983, and everyone stared at me. I was in my little short shorts, and I was in my little Reeboks that I was, sponsoring at the time, very first spokesperson of Reebok, and everyone was looking at me, and I was like, oh gosh, they're all dressed in coat and ties. They're all like long dresses, these girls. And
you're like, no way. I'm wearing my little shorts. I'm tan.
Yes.
And everyone's like, who is this? But were you ever nervous that you could continue your career when you got to a new city?
Oh, absolutely. We got into our little apartment, and I just would take Dad. We had one car between the two of us. I would drop him off at work. I'd get back to this small little apartment.
With cockroaches.
With cockroaches when we turned on the light at night. And I would just watch TV and eat chocolate chip cookie dough. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to start all over again in a town that has
no fitness?
No fitness, and they didn't even know what the word aerobics was all about. And I didn't feel like I fit in being such a California girl.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I got myself together. I said, I'm going to take action. Took me about a week. That's about all.
Holy shit, you guys.
I didn't waste time because, I don't like feeling like that. And so I was watching TV one morning, and I noticed on the Today Show every Friday they would show the credits of the producer's name. And at the end, I'd write down his name at the end of the show. And next Friday, I saw the same name, Steve Friedman. I said, that's it. I'm going to call him. I'm going to try to get on the Today Show because they never had fitness on there.
Right.
And fitness was just starting. 1983 was the beginning. Jane Fonda was coming out now with a new VHS. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make this more, easy for every woman out there.
Totally. And the Today Show is only, a 45-minute flight from D.C.
Yes. So it
perfect.
was great. I was now an East Coaster.
Yeah, wow.
And then, of course, I called every single day. I called like a good person, 9 to 5. And the cute assistant would always say, oh, Denise, I'll let him know you called. Oh, thank you, honey.
Thank you again for the 38th day in a row, Denise.
35.
35 days.
35 times I tried.
You guys, that is the definition of perseverance.
Yes, I did it. I pushed through because, wait, Katie, everybody learn. Try something different. I called it a different time of day, 6:30 at night. And all of a sudden, Steve Friedman, I went, oh my God,
now what do I say?
Now what do I say? My heart is
I finally
beating.
get a hold of him.
I'm sweating. And I was like, hi, I'm Denise Austin. I could do fitness appearances on your show. Everyone cares about their health now. And I could do the first day, I could do abs. The second day, I could do butt. I went on. And all of a sudden, he stops and says, oh, I love your energy and your voice. Please come next week. I'll have an appointment ready for you at 9:45 or something like that. I went in to New York to make my presentation to him, and he's sitting in Rockefeller Center with a baseball bat cap on and a baseball bat in his hand in a beautiful big desk and going side to side with the baseball bat. I'm
iconic, honestly. I can picture this right now. It's almost like a movie from the 80s.
Yes, and I'm like, 28, 29. And I got down on the floor and I showed him what a 4-minute segment was going to be like.
He must have been like, what is this woman?
He didn't say a word, he just smiling.
He was just silent as you were doing this, talking for 5 minutes?
Still using the bat. Hand, side to side, swinging it slightly. And so then I said, and I just wrote a booklet called Tone Up at the Terminals, an exercise guide for computer operators. And I said, I could show ways to relax your neck. A lot of people now are getting on computers. It was brand new in 1980. This now was 1984. It was March of 1984. And so all of a sudden he finished and he smiled and he said, here's your first 2 dates. And he gave me back to
Oh my God, I
back.
just got chills.
Yeah, March 22nd, 23rd. I went, oh
Wow.
my God. And your new producer is Peter, and here's his number. I went, I got it. And then after I was on, I had a 2-part series, home exercises first day and office exercises second day. After the office exercises, I got 10,000 letters all to the Today Show. And Willard Scott, who used to get tons of letters, said, you got more than I got this week.
Oh my
And so then
gosh.
they did a 4-year deal with me. So
Holy moly, you guys. And I feel like
yeah.
that really launched your career. But that just tells me 2 things right here. A, confidence when you walk in a room. Confidence no matter what you do, you have to believe in yourself first before anyone else does.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you were definitely confident in that. I'm not going to lie.
I think you guys had nothing to lose.
Amazing.
Nothing
Yeah.
to lose. And
You did
why
not.
not? I feel so good of who I am. And I honestly would watch a Today Show saying, they need something,
Yeah, you're going to give them something that would
Yes.
actually help and something that's
Right.
on the rise. And also, number 2, perseverance. And I know in this day and age, there's usually not even a phone number for someone you can call.
Yes, it's a little different now.
But that doesn't mean that someone can't LinkedIn search.
Right. Yes.
And I think that you can even search someone on DM now. You can email them. So always keep pushing and trying.
Yes, that's the moral of this story. And then I got my own show on ESPN. This is when ESPN was just starting in 1986. So I knew I wanted to do more than just this once a month fitness 4-minute piece. So then I went on and I talked to all the people at ESPN. And I was the only woman there in the room, obviously. And then they gave me my chance. And I got every single day, a weekday morning, Getting Fit with Denise Austin.
I have so many questions here. So you're on ESPN for 10 years.
Yes, every weekday morning.
Every weekday morning in a man's dominated world. Did you face any struggles with working with all men and on a station that was just watched by a lot of males?
The men that worked there were amazing, and I didn't feel any, difference there. The part that scared me and scared your dad was weird letters I received from men that were very scary and sexual.
I remember them.
Yes.
You guys, growing up, I remember, it wasn't that scary. I don't know why it wasn't that scary to me, but we had police show up at our house a few times because people who would write you in jail, men, would get out of jail, and the police would have to come to our house and sit you guys down and say, hey, Steve is out of jail now. We're just telling you because he's obsessed with you.
Yes, and I would get letters from the same guys every single day, which was more dangerous. So then I moved to their sister station at the time, Lifetime TV for women. So then I didn't get any of the weirdo letters. So I felt safer, and so I was there at ESPN for 10 years, and even while I was pregnant with you, I filmed exercise TV shows on ESPN, and they were very good to me. I walked in pregnant, and they're like, whoa.
And
okay.
your ratings skyrocketed.
Yes, especially after I had the baby, because everyone wanted to see if my tummy got flat again.
You filmed, 6 weeks after having me?
Yes.
I can't
6 weeks,
even imagine.
and
You
with
guys should see the photos of my mom 6 weeks after having me.
Yes, and I gained 34 pounds with each baby.
Oh my
So it
goodness.
I had to slowly get myself in shape, and thank God I had a natural childbirth and everything was great. So I'm not proposing this for anyone else to do, but I did get a checkup with my doctor, and I did little at a time. I started by walking and just little at a time.
So let's get into that, how you had Kelly and I, my sister's name is Kelly, and basically you had this full-on TV show, an empire, products, sponsorships, all while raising 2 kids. I think that is like the craziest thing when it comes to my mind on how successful you are and how successful you are as a mom. And I know you put your being a mom first, but how exactly did you balance your work life with being a mom?
Well, the beautiful part about filming exercise TV shows, I would go for 1 week to a resort, and I'd film 5 shows a day. So I would get 30 shows done in 1 week. And then I came home, and I was a mom, no big deal. People didn't even realize, what I was doing. I was just
We lived in
shows.
Virginia in a place where it wasn't like LA. You were just a normal mom,
Yes.
coming to my lacrosse practice.
Of course. not just practice, but I went to all your games.
All my games. My mom would never miss a game. My mom would plan her work around a game, a test. There was always a meal on the table when we got home.
Yes, when I was home. But I wouldn't go that often. But Jeff, my husband, her dad, was a great dad. He would come home from work being a lawyer and be there for you girls. So, and then I got a chance to travel with you guys when you were little and bring you to these beautiful resorts. And the neatest part to think back on that is how the difference of my two daughters, where Kelly, our oldest, had no interest in watching me, and you would come and watch on the set all the time, which was kind of, I didn't ever think you would follow my footsteps, and now to know you did is a wonderful feeling. But thinking back, how you would just watch and do the exercise behind the cameras and dance and dance.
I think we always kind of knew that I wanted to do something in like TV entertainment type thing, but not necessarily fitness, because I was always an athlete. I couldn't really think of what I wanted to do as my career. But did you ever really think I was going to follow in your fitness footsteps? And when did you realize, like, oh my God, she's actually doing it as a career?
Well, I never thought of it when you were little. It just never came to me, because I didn't even know I didn't have a 5-year plan either. You know, I just thought I wanted, actually when you were about 12, when we visited California every summer, you would want to be on the Disney shows.
Oh, I would beg my mom for a
so
Disney audition.
I would take you because of my connection with ESPN and Lifetime. They're owned at the time with ABC and those shows and Disney. I was able to take you to a lot of the filming. We got to see many.
I saw the filming of Hannah Montana, Sweet Love of Zach and Cody, and I remember going to a Disney audition when I was 13, and they said, "I'm so sorry, you're too old."
Yes.
And I was like, "Mom," I was so mad at you. I was like, "Mom, you should have taken me earlier. You what the heck? I wanted to be like an actress." And she was like, "No, you're not doing anything until you get 18."
And then I said, later after when you're 16, I said, not until you graduate from college.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yes, I wanted you to have a real life and go to college and experience college. I'm going to start to cry.
Nice.
But so I didn't really realize that you would want to follow my footsteps till when you were on TV at Trojan Vision at USC.
Ah, yes.
That was the first time I realized, wow, she really is
I loved
great.
it.
She's a natural on TV, and you were fit because you were a lacrosse player at a D1 program. So.
And I think that was the first time I actually realized too, because I got the hosting job my sophomore year, and then by junior year, I turned every Wednesday into a fitness segment. And I kind of just did that as, I don't know why I even did it, because I was like struggling with fitness, but I did it like, I might just like make my mom happy if I do this. And then like I fell in love with it. It was, I don't know how it all came together. It was never one moment in time. It was like a lot of steps that led up to it for sure.
And it just became so natural for you.
That's exactly what it was.
Yes, it's just in your blood.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I guess I didn't realize how subconscious, like how I watched you do all these workout videos, and how in my subconscious it's just been taught to me my entire life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You heard me practice so many times.
So many times.
Every video I had to film, which was different than the TV shows, my VHSs and my DVDs were on big sets and big productions, because back in the day they put a lot of money behind those. But the key was you would always watch me practice with the other people, and you always liked the dance part too.
Oh yeah, and I loved being on the commercials.
You started a dance program at school, at high school.
I did.
You're the founder of a dance program.
All right, we can stop talking about that. I do want to just ask you, before we get into like dating life and stuff like that and more personal stuff, what is one business piece of advice that you would tell either your 25-year-old, 30-year-old self in that time when you kept calling and maybe you moved to DC and you had no idea what your next step is? Because I think a lot of our listeners are around my age right now in their mid-20s, and they don't know what that next step is. And I think that's very scary for some people, and I've been there, and I experience it honestly on a daily basis. And so what would you tell that self?
That it will come in time. I'm going to cry because I was frustrated at your age too, thinking I could do more, and I, keep going, keep plugging away, and don't worry about how long it's going to take. You have a huge full life, and remember that always, because you can't believe you're still very young, all of you out there, and just keep following your dream no matter what, and believe in yourself. Don't let anyone else tell you can't do this. I remember very vividly, I always drove around Beverly Hills and would see these beautiful mansions, because your dad used to teach tennis, getting through law school, to Gene Wilder, Merv Griffin, these beautiful names, and we go to these beautiful houses. And oh God, one day, and everyone would say to me, I mean, more my friends at the time, would say, "You're just an aerobics instructor." You know,
And you didn't come from any money at all.
No. Hardworking parents, middle America,
Yeah.
truly. Middle American California, but middle income.
You meant middle class.
Middle class, yes. Hard workers. I was one of 5, so.
Yeah. Wow. Honestly, getting emotional right now just thinking about that. And thank you for that advice, because I do think believing in yourself is the most important thing, and having confidence when you walk in the room. So very important takeaway there. I do want to transition a little bit and kind of bring it back to when you first met my dad. And talk about a little bit of dating here, because you met my dad and you guys spent every single day together until until you got engaged.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy shit. Can you guys imagine?
Yeah.
So the funny story that I always remember, and you're going to be like, no, I didn't say this. I remember when I was like 23 years old and I had a boyfriend of 5 years and we had just broken up. I was heartbroken and I was like, am I ever going to find someone? And just crying. And you were like, honey, I was so much older when I met your father. I was older. You have to wait. 23 is too young. You were 24, Mom.
25.
No, when you met Dad, you were 24.
Yeah, but that was November.
Engaged at 25. Yeah. And I just think it's so crazy how back then, for your age, I mean, for,
my generation.
Your generation, 24, 25 was probably some of the last of your friends to get engaged.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is nuts to think about, because, a lot.
But Dad was 30, and 31 when he got married, so I felt that, that was a good age for a man.
I know, I just always remember you were like older, and I'm like, okay, Mom. 25 to get engaged. But yeah, so tell me about like meeting my dad.
Well, I was, get a chance to teach aerobics at different places. Mind you, everybody, there were no gyms to be an exercise instructor. Right. No gyms. You had to just... I taught at racquetball courts. So then the Weston Tennis Club is in Southern California, and they said they have an extra room to give me to teach aerobics in. All I needed was space.
A room.
Yes, a room. And I'd bring my little audio box and, go 50 girls dancing away, And so then that day I was meeting with the general manager of the club. I happened to be walking with him to have him show me the room, and I said, damn, they're good. And it happened to be Tracy Austin and Jeff Austin playing in the center court at the club.
I just want to side note here for our younger listeners. My aunt Tracy Austin, my dad's sister, is the youngest ever to win the U.S. Open. She's won Wimbledon. She was number 1 in the world for a very long time in tennis. Yeah, very iconic name.
So she had just won the U.S. Open at age 16, and they were practicing getting her. Jeff would come and get her ready for the next, match, because she loved her older brother. And so I was walking by, and I was like, God, they're good. And the general manager showed me the room. I said, I love it. What are we doing? And he went back to the dining area, and he gave me a contract, and I'm reading this contract, I was young, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh gosh, I have to sign something, before I just would teach aerobics.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, Tracy and Jeff walked in to get, a drink, some water, and they came over to the table to meet me, because the general manager, come here, meet our new aerobics director. And I went, oh, I got the job. And then he comes and he said, oh, this is Tracy. Oh, I said, congratulations. And Jeff is the family. He's the lawyer in their family. I said, oh, you want to look at this contract? And I picked up the piece of paper, and he just laughed. And it was a 5-minute just introduction, hi, and that was it. The next day he called and asked me out. And I was like,
How do you find your number?
well,
In the yellow
that
book?
was really hard because I'm from San Pedro, California, and there are tons of cat niches.
Her maiden name.
My maiden name is a cat niche, and he thought, oh, for sure, they're the only ones with that name. And then he looked up a million different cat niches. He had no idea which one. There were probably 30 of all of us, huge family. And so then he asked the general manager for my phone number. He goes, oh, I can't do that. He said, just give it to me.
Oh my gosh. And that reminds me of the TikTok quote for all my Gen Z listeners. If he wanted to, he will.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? No, but
there's
literally,
a will,
if there's
a way.
Because a lot of the times, girls are waiting for a text back, and so if he wanted to, he would.
Yes. And I thought he honestly was calling me just to go over that contract, but no, he called to ask me out.
And then you guys went out and then hung out every single day until you got engaged.
Until we got engaged. A year later, exactly.
When did you know that he was going to be your husband?
I did not know for a long time because he knew.
What do you mean?
Well, I was just in my business. I was not even thinking about getting married. He didn't mention marriage. He would
You're
always
also
say,
a lot younger.
he said, I love you and all that, but we never talked about our future, really. Just, we were having fun. But the time came when he had to, make a decision about moving to DC because
And you guys were just dating at the
we're
time.
just, in my opinion, we were just kind of dating. So when he found out, we went together to go see Washington D.C. if he'd like to live there and move. And I said, you need to do this. You hate being a regular lawyer. You want to be a sports lawyer. And I said, this is your biggest opportunity. And so then that night he asked me to marry him. And he was shaking. I was like, what is going on? He was like making out with me, shaking. I was like, oh, and then he asked me, and I was, yes. And I was kind of a little shocked, to be honest with you.
Holy moly. I think it's so crazy how these days in 2021, proposals are out of this mind ridiculous, extravagant photographers, videographers, flowers, and like insane trips to just get engaged. And back then, I just know like my aunts and, everyone, my mentors, everyone's just like, all we were doing is cooking in the kitchen, and he dropped down to one knee and proposed to me. And that's how it was back in the day. No photos, no video.
Right, yeah. We didn't have Instagram.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. I don't know why that's so crazy.
And then 6 months later, we got married, and we both moved to Washington, D.C.
Wow. Yeah. All right. So in the past, I have dated some guys you don't like.
Well, for you. For
me. No,
yes,
of course. Trust me. No, they're not listening to this. But yeah, I feel like I introed this segment being like, it's crazy to now date a guy. And I finally feel like I'm in a mature relationship and date a guy that my parents actually love to be around as well. And they like for me. Because I think that was a very hard thing for me to find.
Yes, and it took you a while, which is nice.
I was very patient.
Yes, you were very patient, and it's worth the patience. And, you learn so much through each one. I call it a little homework. But, I just want you happy. That's all Dad and I want.
No, of course.
Someone who takes good care of you and that you are happy and you love them, so we love them.
So I think I would love you to give any advice for parents out there who don't love their child's significant other for them. I'm not saying that you hated my exes in any way, but you didn't like them for me.
Right.
And you knew it wasn't going to last. So how did you handle that and deal with it?
Oh boy, a couple of times you had some issues with the 5-year, boyfriend, and
I had issues with both of them. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the first one.
Yeah.
I just I tried to shut my mouth, zip it up, and but I knew he wasn't the one for you, and I didn't want to say that right out when, you're still thinking maybe you'll keep trying, and I just felt bad for you. Because you're so sweet.
Well, looking back, I do feel bad for myself, too, because I gave them so many different tries.
Yes.
And so many
And you had friends
comebacks.
that warned you, too.
Exactly.
So you had enough good friends be the one to tell you. I didn't want to bug you about it.
Totally. I think when you get a little
But
bit more...
I did kept saying to you, oh, well, isn't that guy the other USC
Oh
really nice.
my
He's,
God.
I was trying to lead you to doing different things with different people.
You always, and you don't do this anymore with my current boyfriend, but my ex-boyfriends,
Both of
I
them.
knew, both of them, I knew you didn't love them as much because you'd be like, oh my goodness, Katie, I just met the cutest guy. He's 25 and he is studying to be a
And he's
lawyer and he's
smart.
smart and
Yes.
he's really good. And I'd be like, Mom, I have a boyfriend. You'd be like, so? And I'd be like, oh my gosh. But I think my biggest tip is for any parents listening, and if you don't like your child's significant other, is let them figure it out. Because no offense to you, Mom, I wasn't ready to take your advice. I think I was still a little bit too young. I was 23 years old when I dated my long-term guy. And I think I was a little bit stubborn. So the more almost you disliked him, the more I almost wanted to stay with him. And I know that sounds horrible, but I know a lot of you girls can agree with me out there. And I think the biggest thing is if your family and your friends don't like your significant other, it's a massive red flag. It's a way bigger deal than you think it is because it shows and tells a lot because they're the people that have been surrounding you your entire life and know you to your core and know you like the back of your hand. And this guy who's just going to enter your life or girl enter your life and make everyone around them feel uncomfortable is a very serious issue.
It is. It definitely is. And, if they show you who they are, believe them.
Totally.
We saw many things. So,
yeah, and don't take the small things that you're like, oh, this could be a red flag. And if you see those within the first 3 months, like my 5-year relationship, I saw red flags in the first 3 months. And I stuck it out for 5 years. And no, I don't have any regrets now because I've had so many regrets in the past. And I've had to overcome my regret for dating him for so long. But those 3 months and those first 6 months are the biggest tellers of those red flags. And so make sure you're acting on those and they will not go away. They're not fixable.
Yes. And you don't want to try to change anyone because you want you want to be balanced together.
Totally.
And that's so important in why I think Dad and I have had such a successful relationship is we balance each other out. We truly help each other out. We truly are best friends and we truly do respect each other and give each other their chance to shine and their chance to be who they are without any problems or trying to change them. I never tried to change your dad anyway.
I think that's the coolest part about Dad, to bring Dad up, is he loved you being you. I mean, he loves you for you. Not a lot of men, unfortunately, would love their wife doing leg lifts in a leotard on national television. Let's just be real. He freaking loved it. He loves you. He's so confident in who he is, and that makes a relationship for someone like you because you are so out there. You're so outgoing and social.
Yes. I would show everybody my tummy. Keep rock hard.
And so I think it's also an important takeaway that in those first few months of dating, if there is something, a red flag, and you guys do get in fights a lot, that should be your honeymoon phase. I understand everyone's relationship is different, but the first 3 months of both of my last relationships, I saw red flags. I don't see one red flag, and I'm 6 months into this relationship, and so I feel like I'm a little bit on a better pace.
That's nice.
So I'm learning.
Yes.
I learned with every single relationship, and I needed to get to where I am all by myself, I will have to say.
Yes. And the most important part is to, really be equal and to feel like you're not always the one doing this and always.
Yes.
So that's what was very balancing about Dad. He was secure in who he was. I would flip open my shirt and have presidents fill my tummy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I did handstands at weddings with my dress falling down over me.
And you would literally sign autographs, keep it rock hard. And let me tell you, I didn't understand that
keep it up.
Or keep it up. And I didn't understand either of those signatures of yours until 3 years ago. That tells me how innocent and naive I am.
And isn't that nice, everybody?
I didn't understand.
Stay young as long as you can, girls.
On that note of staying young, we actually have this smoothie that we want to make together because you have no work done at all, no Botox, no fillers.
Not yet. I haven't.
And you're 64 years old and you look amazing. Before we get into smoothie, what are your secrets to staying young?
Having a great right attitude, waking up happy, getting good night rest. Exercise is truly the key. It gives you that chance to feel better, to have energy, and to keep your muscles toned and taut. We have over 640 muscles of the body. Keep them firmed up, and you will stay nice and trim the rest of your life.
Love that. All right, let's get into the smoothie. Okay. This is my mom's secret anti-aging smoothie. Mom, talk me through it.
I love this because there's a reason for every single product. Every single food we're eating, there's phytonutrients in it. First of all, the avocado. Healthy fat. Great for your skin, your hair, and we all need healthy fat. Also, it really helps with your appetite. Now comes calcium. A little bit of non-fat yogurt, plain, everybody, no sugar.
Also great probiotics.
Yes, probiotics, and it's Greek yogurt, what I love. Now mangoes. Mangoes are so great. High vitamin C, which is also really good for our body and immune system.
And tastes very good.
Yes. And spinach. I love spinach. Great fiber, keep you very regular, but also it's great for your body because it helps with magnesium, which helps you sleep better.
Amazing.
Okay, then a little chia seeds. I love chia seeds. Great omega-3 that we all need. As we age, we really need this for our brain to think better. And then some coconut water. I love coconut water. It's so good for you. Very hydrating.
Electrolytes.
Yes.
And so tasty. This makes it honestly like a very refreshing smoothie.
And then one scoop of my favorite, it's a really good collagen protein.
I love collagen because it helps your hair, skin, and nails.
Yes.
After the age of 25, the collagen reproduction in your body actually diminishes a lot. So it's very important after, well, also below 25, but also to have collagen. I can easily put it in my smoothies or coffee in the morning.
It's delicious too, and you really can't taste too much of it, but with the mango, it makes it a little sweeter. That's what I love about this one.
Yes.
So you get a well-rounded, great, high nutrient dense little smoothie.
Amazing. Let's blend it up. All right.
Anti-aging smoothie. I love it.
All right, Mom. So as we are sipping on this anti-aging green smoothie, we are now entering our last segment. So if this is your first time listening to Austin AF, because it is your first time, because this is the first fucking episode, sorry, Mom, for cussing, but this is our first episode. We might change around these segments, but for now, what I'm going to have my guests do is called your mantra. Your mood-boosting mantra segment. So if you just want to explain your favorite quote or your favorite mantra that you tell yourself on a weekly basis, or it could be every single day.
Oh my gosh, Katie. I have so many.
I know.
Probably my favorite one is "You can do it."
Oh,
That's
yes.
my I say that all the time. You can do it. And I also say because you're worth it.
Yes.
You deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve this for yourself.
And I think both of those quotes, you embody them fully. I think in just you guys listening to you just in 25, 30 minutes of talking, both of those quotes ring true to who you are.
Yes.
And you
to
fully
my core.
believe, to your core.
To my abs.
Jeez, okay. Next segment, we're calling this No Filter, and this is going to be a little bit more where you get kind of real, and the question will change every guest. But my question to you is, because you're so positive, can you tell me about one failure you've had in life, but that you're very grateful for because it spun your world around for the better?
Probably a failure. I have had many, through the years.
They don't have to be a failure,
things.
not necessarily. I do hate that word because we learn so much from failures, but at the same time, it's something negative that you were so down about or something sad that happened to you, but you're like now so grateful for.
Well, of course, the first was when I had to give up my entire family and my job, my everything, to move to Washington, D.C., a place I'd never really known. The unknown was scary, and I am so grateful now that we moved for 30 years where you were, born and raised.
I'm so grateful I grew up there.
Yes.
Very grateful.
And I just... I think at the time it was devastating to leave, all my sisters and my mom and all my girlfriends and everything I knew, my whole aerobics business and being on TV. I felt like I had to give up a lot.
Yeah.
And to me, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, and
true.
more for my dad, your dad.
And your
our
kids.
family. Yeah.
It really was great for
It
us to
was
grow up there.
great.
Because I learned a lot of dedication, and my high school in Virginia was so sports heavy, and it was getting into the Ivy League school. And I'm not sure how much I would have had that in LA because I'd be very focused on being on Disney Channel.
Right.
So I'm
It
glad.
sure kept you grounded, honey
It
bunny.
definitely kept me grounded.
Sure did.
So I guess you'll end this episode of Austin and Family with what you're working on now, because I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
You are, not to say your age, but you're 64 now. Like,
Yes.
holy shit, Mom, you are still working every freaking day. It's insane. This woman doesn't stop.
I love it. I love what I
Yes.
do to help people, and it's a very fulfilling career to me. I feel committed to the people who have been with me forever. I've had people that have exercised with me for 35 years, and they're still following me now on social media and my website, and I'm so excited because now I'm kind of focused on women over 50. So any of you listening, tell your moms. I have a new magazine that will be coming out every single spring,
Quarter.
summer, every quarter. It'll be 4 times a year, and I'm very excited because on the back cover is an ad of Katie and I's brand new bites. They're protein bites. They're called Ever Better Protein Bites that are very low in calorie and sugar, keto friendly. They're gluten free, and they taste so good. We have 4 different flavors, and I'm most excited about these great bites because we have searched for a long time something that tastes good. It's still like a snack, but at the same time, it's healthy. Bites with benefits.
Ooh, I like that. Did you
Yes.
just make that up right now?
Yeah, because they do have benefits.
Wow.
They're have probiotics.
They're so good.
In just 6 of these, 6 to 7 of them, you get 6 grams of protein, which is so important. We're always looking for healthy protein, and there you have. I love the pumpkin spice.
Yeah, pumpkin spice is definitely
Joy's.
my favorite flavor.
Everybody loves it. Double chocolate at night. If you need a little treat, why not have a chance to have a snack, but also
Totally.
have something that's a little healthy for you.
With a
So
sweet
I'm
tooth.
really proud of Katie and I. We tested this. It's at a gluten-free bakery where they're made, and we are kicking it all off now.
Yeah, and I think it's just so cool to really enter a business with you. I know I've been doing workout videos with you and been following in your fitness footsteps and kind of do stuff online on social media, but I think it's so cool to have a family business. Like, my dad is like my lawyer, my agent, the real back end to us.
Yes.
And then my mom has the experience of working with brands for so long and the longevity of it and the credibility. And then for me, I have like the social media and the website and, the current day and age
Yes.
trending.
She got me on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I know all the current day and age knowledge. And so with us 3 teaming up, it's just so cool to be able to work with your family because they want the best for you.
Yes.
So
and
I
that's the
appreciate you
truth.
guys. Thank
Yes.
you.
Always listen to your mom and dad.
Your mom is always freaking right, everybody. Unfortunately.
Not always. No.
Trust me, it took me till my age right now to say my mom is always right.
No, you've taught me a lot. I love my music now and TikTok and
Okay.
all the above.
All right. Well, we will end this episode right here. Thank you guys so much for watching Austin AF. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are watching this as a YouTube channel, make sure to also subscribe as a podcast, and vice versa. If you guys are just following along as a podcast, go to our YouTube channel as well, Austin AF. You guys can find my mom at Denise Austin on Instagram and deniseaustin.com, and her magazine in every freaking grocery store out right now. So make sure to check it out, Fit Over 50, and me at Katie Austin and katieaustin.tv as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah. I'll see you guys soon.
Love you guys. Stay fit.